just last year, I was returning from Makurdi on June 18th, okay, 2025. And this picture you're seeing is what happened. This is eyewitness account, photos of the road. This dual carriageway road is just about a year old. This was on the road. The place was flooded. So rising sea levels and flash floods threaten cities like Lagos, Port Harcourt, and Warri. That's the Abuja Makurdi Road too. There, cars had to park. These people you're seeing by the side, their cars could not pass. I was in a higher vehicle, an SUV, and we were able to muddle through, So roads are damaged, public facilities are damaged, and so on. And climate change is not a joke. It could push 132 million people into poverty by 2030, in 5 years' time. That's the World Bank prediction. Okay? Because look at the circle of poverty, the poverty trap. Sorry, that one should be poverty, not poverty. Okay? Well, if you're American, even Americans call it poverty. Okay? So poverty, land loss means less income. Okay? It also causes poverty. Then less income means poor health condition. Lots of people are suffering now. People with these chronic illnesses like diabetes, hypertension, whatever. The medications are so expensive. A priest on Sunday told me that he had a condition and that he was paying for one shot, one injection. He was paying 465,000 naira. One shot. Luckily, he was not supposed to take it every day, but he was taking it every week. You can imagine how many people can afford that. So people are dying because they can't afford it. Some people have the money even, but then the medication is fake. You buy capsules and inside is chalk that people have put inside and put the capsule cover. Okay? That leads to food insecurity. Then vulnerability. Because of food insecurity, you're vulnerable, and then vulnerability leads to poverty. So that's the poverty trap, and climate change exacerbates it. So, of course, deforestation, natural resource depletion causes all of those. Loss of biodiversity, loss of grazing lands. So the climate development nexus, these are the points now. Reduced agricultural output, water scarcity. What are the consequences? The consequences are on the right. What are the consequences of water scarcity? Even a blind man knows that. Health crisis, migration, infrastructure damage, economic losses are caused, urban poverty, spread of diseases, higher healthcare costs, and poverty deaths. There's what you call poverty death. Death caused by poverty. That is, somebody is unable to afford the medication. He dies. Not because it's time for him to die. Resource depletion, livelihood losses, conflicts. Okay? Economic shocks cause slower growth and higher inequality. Nigeria's climate policies are there. You have to go and get NCCP 2021. There are soft copies online and read them. Okay? Then in Nigeria's nationally determined contribution, go get it, read it. Those are small documents so that you get in the flow of this. Okay? And we need to reduce greenhouse gases by 2020, unconditionally 20%. Okay? That's the target. And then 47% conditional by 2030. So Nigeria's sectoral greenhouse gas emission sources are there. Now, climate finance. This one is big story. We have said it. Africa, I think somebody asked this question. Was it Tewasi Wange? That Africa receives, no, it wasn't him. Africa receives only 3% of global climate finance. Okay? It's heavily concentrated in a few key regions. This global climate finance comes from these intergovernmental bodies, these world bodies. So global national economies, the global north economies in North America, Western Europe, and East Asia, and the Pacific, but primarily China, account for majority of climate finance flows. They get all the money, both domestically and internationally. Meanwhile, developing and low-income economies, particularly the LDCs, receive a disproportionately small share of these funds? Well, for example, Nigeria's Green Bond Program, which was worth 25 billion in 2017. All right. September 2024, we were supposed to issue a 250 USD million sovereign green bond. Okay. And proceeds from it would have been used to support the implementation of climate mitigation and adaptation projects under the leadership of the Minister of Environment. So look at the regional distribution of climate finance. Can you see? Look at where sub-Saharan Africa is, 10.8. And it's all international. Because you can see international is pink there, or beige, and domestic is red. So look at the countries, okay? Climate finance, 2019 to 2022, all right? The billion naira, $1 billion rather, okay? The distribution is not equitable at all. So what are these pathways? The Green Wall Initiative, you can read about it. You have to read about it, please, so that you get initiated into what we're talking about. So by 2023, about 18 million hectares, that is 18% of the target, has been restored. And a new initiative, which we just spoke about, the Great Green Wall Initiative, would accelerate the up to the pledged 14.3 billion in new funding. And that's the Great Green Wall, running from, you can see the top, it runs like to the top, the northwestern Nigeria, mostly northwestern Nigeria, okay? And then it flows through from Burkina Faso, across Nigeria, through Chad, through Sudan, Eritrea, and then it goes to the Horn of Africa, Djibouti, okay? Now, so that's the Great Green Wall. And of course, we are summarizing because it's 504. Climate change is inseparable from development. Climate change is both a development issue and a threat to development gains. So, like we said, climate change is caused by development, and development exacerbates climate change. Now, climate change exists, it magnifies existing vulnerabilities. It makes it bigger, okay? And it undermines poverty reduction and human development efforts. So, mitigation of climate change demands integrated climate-smart development planning. In Nigeria and Africa, there are unique vulnerabilities, and achievement of sustainable, inclusive, and climate-resilient development is now essential for long-term prosperity. So let's discuss these two questions. How can local communities in Nigeria be more involved in climate action? How can local communities, you can unmute yourselves and let's talk if it's possible. If the host has given you the right to unmute yourselves, how can local communities, be more involved in climate action? And should Nigeria prioritize adaptation or mitigation? We are talking of climate change now. Should we prioritize adaptation or mitigation, and why? You can write in the chat, you can unmute yourself, and let's talk. All right?
Jessica, you can unmute yourself.
Okay, thank you, Governor.
Hello, good afternoon, ma.
Good
afternoon, everybody.
Bless
Thank
you.
you so much for your lectures. That's been really enlightening.
Okay, thank
you.
you.
I would like to contribute in how local communities can be part of the climate change champions. They can champion it by planting more trees. And that's sensitizing them on how to plant more trees instead of felling trees and using them for firewood. And by the time they do that, they will encourage their children to grow up like that. And then that's a behavioral change. So if the traditional leaders and the community leaders can come together and then sensitize their people and encourage them, and even donors or partners can come in and help them with seedlings and all that, so that they will build and they will keep planting trees and nurturing them. Like I know in some places before, once a child is born, they will plant a tree so that the tree will grow along with the child, so that as you are growing, imagine the number of children that you are giving birth to and how many trees they are planting. So every child will say, oh, this tree was planted when I was giving birth to, and then it's growing along with me. So it's a good initiative. Once local communities can be encouraged to do that, then we'll have forests everywhere. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much, Dazang, Jessica. That's wonderful. I remember when my father-in-law was alive, this thing you said is true. When I had my children, every child I had, he would ask for the umbilical cord once it has fallen off, once it is disengaged. He will ask for it, and he will plant a new tree, and the umbilical cord will be at the bottom of the tree. And so the children had their own trees in the village, honestly. And sometimes you can even make it 2-3 trees, and they are economic trees. These ones that last really long. So if imagine a nune, the dawa tree planted, and the child is 23 years old now. What would you think? It will be producing already. Or a kuka. We high school in Kano State, and kuka, the tree, if you plant it, or goruba, all those things, you discover that before long, our resource will be well managed. Thank you, Dazang. Yes, Aliyu Murtala, you have the floor. Aliyu. Okay, Ikuta Vandichia. While Aliyu prepares, Ikuta. Sorry if I'm not pronouncing your name well. Then Zugu de Senenge. Taylor Isaiah. Any of you, please speak. All right?
Hey, good evening. Good evening, class. I'm Vandichia Ikuta. Okay. Can you hear me?
We can hear you, Vandichia.
Hello?
We can hear you. We can hear you. Go ahead with Vandichia.
Okay, the question, how can our local communities how can our local communities involve in climate change? Okay. So one of the ways is partnership and collaboration to foster partnership between communities, government, NGOs, to tell them about this the climate change. Then they create awareness, that is advocacy. You tell them what is coming before the ways of preventing these things, or managing those things. Like now, we go to communities, inform them falling of trees is not too good for them, and they should discourage deforestation and plant more trees for future. Then inclusive decision making. We should carry every community along, carry everybody along. Areas where they are affected.
Who should carry them along? Who should carry them along?
Sidelining part of
Vandichia,
it. You have to pick everybody
who should
along.
carry the communities
Thank
along? Vandichia, who should carry the communities along? This thing of they. Who are the they? Please, can you throw more light, Vandichia?
Ma?
Who are the they that should carry the communities along?
Okay. The decision, the decision makers. The decision makers.
How do you mean decision makers? Come down to our level. Talk to us. Talk to us, Vandichia. What do you mean decision makers? Who do you mean that? Who are the decision makers? Please break it down. I don't understand. Let's not talk big now. Just break it down. Let's all hear.
Okay. For instance, now,
Yes. Go ahead.
for instance, yes. Okay. For instance, now we are being discouraged,
You
discouraging
can
people
go.
settling along
You
the
can
river
go.
bank.
Hmm?
Now, it is a duty of inland waterway, the Ministry of Water Resources, which are the decision makers, in this, to discourage people who are settling along river banks to avoid flooding. So
Okay.
here now,
So, yeah. Go ahead. So you are still saying that it is the ministries that should come to make the local people more involved in, to get them more involved in climate action. Okay, thank you. Bem as Odewale Oluwaseun, you have the floor. Odewale Oluwaseun. Madam Ijo. Odewale Oluwaseun.
Thank you so much, Prof.
Yourself,
I really appreciate your teaching methodology, ma. As an educationist, I really appreciate it. I know how far it can go. All right, ma. As regards
Thank you
the
very much,
question,
Odewale. Thank you, sir. Go ahead, sir.
yeah. So, how can local communities in Nigeria be more involved in climate action? No, to add to what other colleagues have been saying, is to for the government, NGOs, international partners to sensitize them. After sensitization is for them to take ownership of these projects. I'll take 3 projects as an example. Number one is this Great Green Wall project you just used in your lectures now, ma. You know, we've seen communities when trees are planted and it was handed over to the communities to look after. We've seen cases where some of those trees were later uprooted for cooking due to the needs of the community
Oh my
in
God.
yes, for cooking and all of those things, their need. So the second thing that was done there was to introduce these clean cooking stoves as a
Good.
project again into
Good.
that community to buffer the activity of the Great Green Wall project. So it's for them to, the leadership of the community. I think the tactics that was used was to use the community leaders, the Dekechis, the Meangwas, to see
Good.
that these projects are protected. Then the third
Wonderful.
one I want to say is give these people new livelihood so that they can their current livelihood won't destroy what you are bringing from the cities or from the towns, so to say, because some of these policies, some of these programs, some of these projects are planned in the conveniences of the town where there is CNG, where there are some level of induction cooking. Like you said, somebody in my village may not have induction cooker or may not even have AED, electricity distribution company supplying the community. So
That's right.
is to bring them to the level of the resources that is available within their means sustainably over time. Like you used in your analysis, ma. Don't bring yesterday. Don't bring don't do white elephant gifts. Don't give white elephant gifts. That's the word. Yes. Thank you so much, ma. Don't give white elephant gifts to the local people. You are giving them tractors. What about the diesel? What about irrigation? So I think we allow them to take ownership of the project within the means of what they can survive with sustainably. So I think that is how they can be more involved in local action, not bringing to them. Oh, don't cut trees. So you don't tell me to cut trees. How do you provide for my needs of cooking? These people travel 2.5 kilometers, 3 kilometers, 4 kilometers to source for wood. So you tell me not to cook. How do I eat? You tell me not to dump refuse in the water. Do you provide a landfill? No. Do you provide recycling centers? No. Do you provide for resource recovery agents to take away recyclable that I generate
waste,
as waste?
Yes.
You don't. So how do I survive within the means of the what do I put it now? Please, of the projects and plans you are bringing without looking at how I am living. So I think this is how they can be more involved in climate action. So we see it from their end, we see it from their perspective before giving all of these recommendations. Thank you very much, Ma. I'm very grateful. Yes,
Thank you so much, Odewale. I have given you electronic claps and flowers, and I'm also clapping physically. That's a beautiful contribution. Beautiful, beautiful contribution. He has made a number of points, and this is what we're talking about. Remember the question: how can local communities in Nigeria be more involved in climate action? We're talking of involvement of local communities, and we are saying ministry should come and do, government should come and do. No. It's not about policy. Look, please, Oga Odewale Oluwaseun, the points you listed are valid. In fact, if I'm scoring, I will score you 92%. This is it. Looking inwards. Us. It's about us. It's not about them. Like he rounded up by talking about bottom up. Let them decide. Let the people decide what we can do. Give us the options, and then let's decide. Then create new livelihoods. Don't kill the other, eliminate the other livelihoods. Like, let me give another example for you, Odewale. The examples you gave are really nice. But there is this river I think in the Buruku area of Benue State. I think it's a tributary of River Benue, or is it River Buruku? Yes, in that point. And then I have had just to climb to the other side. If you don't go to the Kasina area, you have to enter these boats that when you are entering, you say your last prayer. Your vehicle is inside, you are standing inside the boat. The boats have no sides, so they are just flat things. Jesus, I didn't know that I could be that bold. I have entered it. And I'm like, why won't the government do this? Why won't they build a bridge? I was reliably informed. I took it up. You cannot be silent. People like us in this class, 137 of us in this class, cannot be silent. We shouldn't be silent at the face of such things. I took it up. And when I got close to the top, I was told that the people rejected. They said that the people operating those boats said, if you build a bridge, their livelihoods will be gone. But Odewale has given the answer. Give them different livelihoods. Give them new livelihoods that will even be better. Empower them so that they don't keep them. And then community leadership. Using the Meyanguas, the Te of the areas, the Oches, the Obas, maybe not even Obas, and the other ones lower than Obas. Let's have community together, and then let it be from bottom up. Stories have also been told of, people who, there was a place where, solar panels were just deployed for electricity generation. And the villagers, because there was not enough stakeholder engagement, the men overnight, they went and broke everything, broke all the panels. They say it's an abomination, that lie, it will not happen. So when these things come from the people, climate action is something. Yes, Tachia, Tefa, Florence, Vincent, Taylor, Isaiah. Yes, you have the floor.
Florence, unmute yourself and speak.
Thank you. I'm calling those. Okay, Florence, go ahead. Good afternoon.
Yeah, thank you for the lecture. It's really interesting. So I would like to answer the second one. Should Nigeria prioritize adaptation or mitigation, and why? Okay.
Go ahead, Florence. Thank you.
All right. I think in this case, we should actually prioritize. Both are important. While adaptation should be prioritized most to me is because the climate change has already come already. So we're already experiencing the impact already. You showed a picture where there was flooding in Benue. So already we have to know how to protect what is already happening. So in that case, we have to adapt and do other things like flood defense, early warning sign for disaster, and the rest of it. While after adaptation, then we will also do mitigation. That's to prevent it from further recurring. For instance, planting tree, switching to solar and the rest of renewable energy resources and it. So I think since we already have the problem, we have to learn to live with it to reduce it already. Then we prevent it from happening again so that even in a sustainable manner, so that even the future generation will not have to worry about climate change. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you so much, Florence. But if you were to choose, if you were to choose, and they said mitigation or adaptation, which one should we do? Which one should we prioritize? Which one would you choose? We agree that both should be done. The priority, which one should we give priority to? Yes, Florence, or are you tired already? Okay, thank you so much, Florence. Zugu, De Senenge, Tachia Tefa, who else? Any of you? Aliyu Mutala, Simon Ben Badeshi, Omojo Odo. Yes, John Caleb, Oban Comfort. Any of you? Oh, yeah, go ahead. 1 minute each.
Hello, everyone. Good evening,
Hello.
everyone.
Hello.
Thank you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we
Hello?
can hear you.
Hello.
We can hear you,
Okay,
Zugu.
my name is Zugu.
We can see your name.
Okay.
Once you start talking, we see your name.
Okay, so I just want to contribute in terms of the local communities' involvement regarding this. And the aspect I want to talk about in terms of sanitation, you know, the youth are the soul of every society. I can remember a few some time ago. I think about last month or last 2 months, there was this particular person, this influencer in this country that initiated a thing about sanitation, and a lot of youth came out. So I think sanitation. Before growing up, we had something like sanitation, which happens on the happen on the first Saturday of every month. That really helped in putting all the refuse, packing them, arranging them, and then everybody keeping their place tidy, and that really helped. But recently, it is not really in practice like that, like the way it should. So the local communities can initiate that, and government can also support in bringing policies and enforcing that. Also, that can also help. And then in terms
We
of
don't like to hear government. We don't like to hear government,
yes,
government. Zugu,
yeah, okay,
We are
no.
talking
So no,
about local
that was
community
just
action.
yeah,
So
yeah. So the
must
youth,
people come to
okay,
flog you? Must people block road and say, don't pass, go back and clean
no,
your house before you clean?
no,
That's
no,
what we
we
don't
can
want to hear.
mobilize ourselves. Yes, we can mobilize
That's it.
ourselves.
So let's leave
The
government
youth.
out.
Yeah, that's why
It
I
is
focus on the
the
youth.
American president said, ask not what America can do for you, but ask what you
Okay.
can do for America.
Yes.
We're talking of
So
local action, please. Let's leave
yes.
government. But once you bring government into it, every Nigerian will just go and fold their hands and sit down. We're talking about how you and I can do it. Okay?
Yes.
Yes, Tachia Tefa, over to you. Simon Deishi. Any of you? Yes. Let's go. Ali Mutala, I want to hear you. Ali Mutala Muhammad. Urban Comfort. Oh yeah, lose and speak. Omojo Odo. Yes, we have just 4 minutes to round up.
Okay,
We
hello.
have 4 minutes.
Good evening, ma.
Good evening, Ali Mutala Muhammad.
Yes, thank you very much for the exciting lecture. I would like to speak to Question on should Nigeria prioritize on adaptation or mitigation? Why?
Okay, good, good.
I believe we should prioritize on mitigation rather than adaptation because as Nigerians, studies have shown that when we get comfortable with something, we don't tend to want to change from that particular thing anymore. So it is very, very important that we work towards mitigating the whole climate change issue rather than adapting to it. When we adapt to it, we just feel like, oh, it's here. What can we do? Let's just look at it that way and just take it. It is the adaptation that will push somebody who stays by the river bank and say, oh, the water is full now, let me go. When the water goes down, I'll come back again. For how long will you continue this routine year in, year out? But when we look at mitigating, putting a stop to it, putting a control to it, that it wouldn't have to get to that level anymore. By the time we get to a satisfactory level, then we can maybe consider adaptation. But mitigation is very, very key. And also, just a little tip to local communities in Nigeria to be more involved in climate action. In the course of my undergraduate studies, I was fortunate to do my industrial attachment at one of the natural reserves, specifically Cross River National Park. I was fortunate to go into the deep forest to have a feel of what it is like to be in those places. It is important for us to involve communities when we're bringing in projects to those places. We cannot sit in the cities and implement projects in those places when we don't know what it feels like to be in that particular environment. They are the best guards and securities to whatever project we need to bring in. If you bring up a project of, say, solar installation in communities, and then the communities don't key into that project, we're only going to spend time speaking English and then wasting donor resources on implementing those projects. But when they understand the needs of all of these things, why these things is like this and like that, then it will become like they become the guard of that. Another person from outside cannot come and tamper with it because they know the importance of that particular thing to their economic well-being and social well-being as well. So they think more to it. Thank you very much, Ma.
Thank you so much, Aliyu Muhammad. We are grateful for these wonderful contributions. We're throwing flowers at you. Okay, I think we have 1 more minute. Anybody who wants to say something? We've been calling your names, Dofa, Miriam, Wapara. Well, if you want to talk, unmute yourselves and say something. Otherwise, we'll call it a day.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ma, for the wonderful lecture.
You're welcome. Thank you.
I just want to contribute on how local communities in Nigeria can be more involved in community action. I just want to cite an instance using what I did personally. Sometimes last year, precisely in April, I am a member of the Girls Brigade. So we went for a camp. So during the camp, I organized girls and some of the officers. So we went out for environmental cleanup and we tagged this, let's keep Boko clean. So in the process of doing that, we discovered that even those that were passing joined us in cleaning up the town. So the essence was to encourage community that the government cannot come and do these things. We can clean up ourselves. And also in the same organization in Girls Brigade, we have also encouraged tree planting. We have also encouraged tree planting.
Please, Simon, you are making noise in our class. We don't like that. Go ahead, my dear.
Okay, we have also encouraged tree planting. Like in the site we bought here in Abuja, we have encouraged girls to bring trees. And most of the trees they brought, they were economic trees. And this is for 2 years now. On visiting the place this year, we just discovered that out of 10, just 2 that could not survive this. So it is good that we also encourage the people around us about tree planting, because if we don't discourage them from felling of trees, it also affects the agricultural yields. Because, for instance, now in my place now, we used to have a lot of trees, but because the people in the village don't have a kind of other means of livelihood, they fell these trees, use them for firewood, and also sell them out. So the thing has actually affected the agricultural yields in my place where I come from, because where we used to farm and have, like, let me say 100 tubers of yam, we barely have like 20. So we have to encourage people to plant trees rather than falling trees. Thank
So
you.
there should be, so you're saying that, Dauphin, you're saying that there should be pressure groups, there should be community action. People should form in the local communities, people should form groups to sensitize others, to encourage them, you know, to talk to them, you know, about all the things that are happening. That's a good one. Yes, I think we've come to the end, except if somebody, if there's someone who, if he doesn't talk, he will have belly ache, he or she, then you can talk, because we don't want anyone to have belly ache. Otherwise, we've come to the end of this class, and tomorrow we're going to look at this debate. After we look at shared the SSPs. That is shared socioeconomic pathways. You know, these RCPs they have been replaced last year by the shared socioeconomic pathways. So we'll look at the SSPs, okay? Are they better indices? Are they better scenarios? And then we'll go and look at this debate. Should development actually be allowed to continue? So get ready for tomorrow. And at this point, I want to say thank you very much. Have a good evening. Put on your videos, because the class governor wants to take photos. He wants to capture photos of this day for keeps. All right? So put on your videos, please, and then let's take photos. Class governor, over.
I'm here.
Over.
Okay.
I want to see those who have not put on their video. Even class governor's video is not on yet. Your video
Put on
is
your
not
videos. Oh.
Put on your videos, everybody. Eleweke gift has not switched on. Edna Sushima Upev, Emmanuel Everest, your videos are not on. We don't like that. Switch on your videos. Ebeyi Michael Patrick, your video is off. Switched on. Iozua Nguto Cyprian, Oyao Kwakshi Julius, Bojimem Sendo. It's good to pray, but please put on your video. Mariam Mohammed Kauje, Mercy Anyebe, Miriam Gajir, put on your videos. To obey is better than sacrifice. Odewale Oluwaseun, your video is not on. We will not take that. Your wonderful contribution, please complete it by switching on your video. All right. Cause governor, when you are ready, you let me know. When you're done, rather.
Okay, I'm taking the shots already. Most of
the
videos are doing, not yet. They are doing on and off.
No, please leave your videos on for just 2 minutes. Let him capture all. Praise Itoro Esu. Idempo. Praise Itoro. Idempo. Put on your video.
Videos, I'm waiting. On your video, I'm waiting.
The videos are on now.
Okay.
Urban Comfort, your video is not on. Just snap. We will catch the people with the videos not on, and we'll know how to make them do frog jump. Yusuf Sanusi is on. Yande Winifred. Yes. Tombu Patrick Telumo, your video is switched off. To obey is better than sacrifice. Yusuf Sanusi, you switched off. Put on your video. and put on your best smiles. Please, we like to see people smiling. If you're not smiling, you're wrong. So tomorrow our class will be at 1 p.m. Okay? Is that okay?
Yeah, it's taking, ma.
All right, thank you. So at this point, I want to say thank you very much and have a very good evening. God bless you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, ma.
Bye.
God bless you, ma.
Amen. Bless you too.
Yes, ma.
Ooh la la.
Okay, thank you. I'm taking a number of shots. All right. Thank you very much. All right, thank you. I think I've gotten quite a number of shots now. This person that has refused to change his or her thing. This 839-166. I don't know whether you are the admin, but with all what we have been saying, you have refused to change your device to your name.